Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Guys, it was my day off, so we're streaming. Major updates. Our little child got a little makeover. It's the twins' birthday. How's everybody doing? Hey, babe. Hi, Allie. Good luck in your meeting. I hope it goes well. I hope it's almost over. I hope it's almost over. Um, guys, we're playing Sims today. We fixed up the house that we were building last time. We're all moved in. I can't wait to give you guys a little tour of the house. Let's see. Hi, guys, my hair is a little bit of a mess. I did a lot of work on my plants today. I have maybe like 8 pothos variations and different jars of water, and I really have been neglecting to like refresh the water completely, like wash out the jars, make sure they're just like in tip-top shape, you know? So I spent a lot of time doing that and rinsing off their roots and giving them like trimming the roots, making sure that, they were healthy and not just like too dense. I have a pothos right now. It's the oldest one. Like I have a lot of cuttings from it, and it just stopped growing. And I looked at the roots, and it's literally like a tangled mess. So I chopped so much of it off. I have them all kind of like not congested. Hopefully that'll help. You know, roots like to spread. They don't like to be bald, right? That makes sense to me. I have to wipe my glasses. We're finally getting the walls painted. All of this will be fixed tomorrow. I'm excited. We're also streaming tomorrow. We'll be back on the quarry tomorrow. We'll definitely keep going on that journey. We have to kill all the survivors or all the protagonists. So I guess we'll make mistakes on purpose. I'm sad though. I love them all. Let's see. We can just get right in. There you go. Guys, look at them. Our little buddy got a little update. Here, let's resume. We have some mods in. We have our UI cheats. We have our MC Command Center. And we have our basemental drugs mod. We have like true liquor. Like I like the drinking aspect. Like I don't really care for the drugs part. Like sure that's fun, but I tend to just like the drinking. So we have our drinking. I like when they get drunk. I like when they're like tired from being hungover. Like that to me is fun gameplay. Be a little messy. They have more of a luxury beach house, I would say. It's definitely way bigger than the beach house we had before. We also moved the lot completely. I wonder if I can move that lot. Here, let's turn on all the lights first. Guys, it's gonna be quite a mess. Yeah, I don't want basemental gangs. There's MC Command Center. It's 11:30 in the morning. Guys, this is the new house. Let's go into build mode. I wish I could change the weather. This is the new home. I think I did a really good job of landscaping. Like, I love the landscaping. I love that it's like truly a house built on a beach. I added all this like landscaping here, these rocks and these leaves. Um, Same thing here. Like, I wanted it to seem natural. And that they fully just like took over a beach, and put a house here. So here's like a brief tour. So you have like two walking paths, one right onto the beach. I guess this could be more like be a little wider. Um, Walking path outside, we have now a proper butterfly tent or butterfly cage. Our chickens are still here. Oh, we no longer have a greenhouse. We more have a sunroom in the house dedicated to the plants. We still have like a table here dedicated to like the frogs, maybe harvesting some more stuff. Here, our butterflies live in here. I'm not sure where they are. And we also have a bird feeder now. Um, and then I think we'll garden seasonal plants or something here. um, Back out here we have like our proper beach. I tented off this like grill area with a picnic table here. We also have our laundry out here. Yeah, and then inside, I actually really enjoy how I furnished the house. So it's a way larger house completely. Inside you have one of the masters. We have two master bedrooms, I would say. Excuse me. Um, This is their bedroom for now. I'm planning to move them upstairs, but we'll see. Maybe all the kids could just live upstairs. And this can become a different room eventually. So anyway, you walk into the house. We have this huge bench full of shoes. Like they're a family now, like a proper family, which is kind of insane. Also, look at Justina, gorge. She's It's her birthday. Then so today is the twins. They're gonna be infants overnight. So I had to like have a room ready for the infants, and I wanted to make sure they aged up on stream so you guys could see um their birthday. So um yeah, we have our infants down here. Right now they're babies. They're still like literally newborns. Um Oh, I have no cheats on for building. We have two of our little household members in here. Oh, actually four. Four is a crowd, by the way. Four household members. This is gonna be the twins' room for now. I like the subtle like pink and like kind of periwinkle, like light blue. We'll decorate it more, but for now this should be fine for them. Eventually, I think they'll live upstairs, and Justina might get the room downstairs. Here we have that's their bedroom. Um, those are the stairs going up, right? There's Chunky. I think a window would fit nicely here, but anyway, I digress. We have a small office off to the side. Um, it's really small. I wanted to sort of like, we had that room in the old house with the big window, and I wanted to kind of keep that aspect of that house. So you walk in, got the living room here, a very simple living room for now. I wanted to make like, I used a lot of money to build this house, so we had like 80K. We're down to $18,000, which I mean that all that stuff is stuff we can get back, but it's good to have them with like a bit with more space. So here's the proper sunroom. Oh, there's our girl Leilani. Um, Sunroom with some like plant decorations, but also all of our, greenhouse plants are in here now. Um, Here's our kitchen with like direct access outside. Kind of an open kitchen, I would say. Like all this is like open, the windows are open, so it feels nice that it's kind of connected to the outside. We have like a double sink. I like this how it's decorated. I have all this clutter here. Let me know if I should add anything else. I was thinking about putting a microwave here, but it's honestly huge. So maybe a tea kettle or something. That's more their vibe. We also have a coffee corner here. No ears, but I love the remodel. Okay, I'm glad that you see it. Yes. Yeah, it's a huge remodel. Here's our dining area. I love that it's off the side. I love that it's off the side here. I love these curtains. I like that everything feels like beachy and airy. I love these windows. It's just a cute little space for them to get together, sit and eat. We actually have a functional high chair. I think the issue before was that the high chair wasn't functional. Let me write to Allie. Then we have like the outdoor sort of space that's like more social. So we have a little table here in case they wanted to have like a quick meal out here. We have a little bar as we access this other eating space. I put this big umbrella here. And then another just like social area, a little speaker out here for them to sit and like hang out, I guess. I really didn't know how else to fill that space. I got a lot of inspiration from multiple builds that I saw on TikTok. So we walk out here, we have like another little lounge area with like a swimming hole. It's still the beach, which I kind of love. Um, but instead of having laundry on our deck, I like it on the beach itself. And then we have, yeah, the same sort of like ladder to the public beach and their house here. I actually really like it. And we'll enter the upstairs from back here. I like this little deck. I think maybe a column here would work really well. Maybe to fence it off. Maybe that's what we can do. And maybe a column here. Like I think it'll break it up, sure, but I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. Like a column right by maybe maybe out here, not quite on the corner of the roof, or maybe on the corner of the roof. Right? That makes sense, right? So yeah, we'll enter the upstairs. Here's another like social area, more for like the kids. So like a bookshelf, like kids' toys, a little couch. We have the the oldest kids living up here in a Jack and Jill style like bedding area. I think eventually the twins will take over this space. Um, we have like all these boxes, like moving boxes and stuff. I just like filled it with clutter because why not? It's really ugly and like disorganized, but I thought it would be a fun touch. Like nobody goes in that room. Um, a bathroom, like two bathrooms up here, one specifically for the kids. I did like, you know, a DIY shower. Made this more like a like literally a shower room with a toilet, and then two sinks here for them to brush their teeth in the morning. I like that this is closed off because one could be showering while the other is like washing up. You know what I mean? Here's the boys' room. I like what I did with this space. Hopefully it's all functional. I have a little TV here for him. And a chair. I think he can only watch the TV if the chair is like directly facing it or something because I tried watching it earlier and this chair would not function. But he has a little bunk bed situation. She has more of like a I wanted to go with blue. I kind of want to make her blue, her vibes blue. So I think moving forward, she'll have blue. Um, blue vibes because she's a mermaid after all. You know, I don't think Justina's gonna be our heir, but she'll have like a pet fish and she'll, you know, be a dreamer, artistic. I think she's gonna just be creative and earthly like her mom, like very sciencey, biologist even. She might not even go to school, but she might definitely become like a biologist of some sort. And I think we're chilling on kids for the time being. Like I think the factory's closed. Okay, Leilani needs a break. She needs to get back into her habits, you know. We have this open space I'm not really sure what to do with yet. But we'll see. And yeah, that's the new build. Mark helped a lot with the roofs because I couldn't get the roofs down, but I'm really, really happy with their space. But yeah, let's get into it. It's the baby's birthdays, the twins' birthdays, so we'll just play it out. What do they all want to do? It's Saturday. Oh, he doesn't have a job. Let's get Mauricio a job. Maybe let's see if all these plants can we water all. Let's see. And then I want you to weed. Okay, what does he give? Actually, let's look at his skills. Let's see what the game has painted him to be. Let's see what his skills are. He doesn't have a lot of skills. Mixology, mischief. Mixology's a 5. Maybe he's a bartender. Maybe he's a bartender? Should he just like be a socialite? I think I like that. He does wear hearing aids, so I think that's like an interesting story for him. Let's get to know him better. What's it? Expert nectar maker. Achieve 5 nectar making skill. Okay, I like that. Okay, let's work on his. Why not? Let's work on his. What? How do I make nectar? In build more, go to outdoor activities. Place down root and fruit and nectar maker on the active lot. Harvest ingredients from a garden or buy them. Then you choose craft nectar. As your sim produces nectar, they will level up in the nectar making. I've never done that. Wait, maybe we should do nectar making. Yeah. Okay, wait. Let's put our cheats in. Let's put our build cheats in and find a place for this nectar machine. Try. Okay. Um, build mode, nectar maker. Nectar. Nectar storage, which we have. We don't have. Okay, maybe let's organize this a bit. So let's just say this is where he stores his nectar. I like that. And this is his nectar stuff. Like, maybe this is his nectar room. I didn't know that was a thing, to be honest. So, and yeah, maybe he just sells nectar and bartends. Like, I think that's fine. Like all his paperwork, like all his taxes for his business. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that we're learning about like Mauricio a little bit. Okay. Is it this big thing? Nectar Country Cast. Oh, oh, this is cute. Wait, let's keep almost. Look at that. We're just gonna make this cute. Is fun. Oh, that's huge. Let's make it smaller. Tell me how good it is to be. This is coming out. This is coming out well. Antique nectar press. Yeah, but where's the nectar machine? Oh, here you go. Sorry if I say sorry way too much. Selfish. Help it. Just, oh, just, that's what I need. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, that doesn't look perfect, but were we expecting perfection? Guys, were we expecting any perfection on those boxes? Oh, actually, that works way better when we did that. Maybe it's blue. Because his sun is also... Oh no, his sun is green. Maybe it's blue.
It's me!
Star! Get that! Get your ass out of here. Hi, Star. How are you? Star, how are you doing? Star, look at the new house. Guys, go follow Star. How's your date today? Okay, we have the nectar maker. Like, I think we kind of ate. Let's go with white. Why not? Yeah, we'll make things blue. And this will be his nectar room. Like, I like that. Oh, barrels. Look, I like that. A barrel? Let's get a barrel in here. Get drunk. I like that. His little nectar room. Alright, so now homie has the nectar room. Okay, thank you for the shout out, and the house is looking good so far. Look at this, look at this, look at this. The house is complete. All this is my landscaping that I did. All this landscaping. We have a new outdoor area for our, like, our chickens. I'm so excited. And the house is huge, like literally massive, which is so nice. That's the new garden. We have like more of a garden sunroom. Exciting stuff happening. Okay. So he wants to be an achieve expert nectar maker. And okay, so let's become a mixologist. Let's do that. And did he do his homework? Homework not started. Do homework. I want him to be a mixologist. Barista? No. There's a mixologist career, isn't there? Or is that in like culinary? Yes. Okay, so let's go culinary. Fuck it. Oh, she's... Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's fix everyone's needs. I want everybody to be happy right now. I want everybody happy. We're starting off on a better note. We just had the twins. The house is finally done. We're gonna make everybody happy. I mean, we'll learn their wants and needs pretty soon. And then I can't touch the babies. Okay. What is she gonna do? Grab yogurt? Hell no. Featured raccoon cat. Maybe let's have him start... Oh, he made coffee, sure. Maybe let's have him make some nectar. Craft nectar. Any herb. Okay, wait. Let's have homegirl. How about this? How about this? Plant. No. Purchase seeds. Cannabis. Okay, we're not gonna do cannabis. I want fruits. Let's do that. Let's do 2 bags of fruit. Open. Open. Banana, strawberry, grape. Okay, let's grape this hoe. And is it fall? Okay, we're in winter, so that's not cute. None of these are good in the winter. Plants and plants. Maybe we should plant some grapes in here too, right? Stop, when can I move in? Isn't it so nice in there? How are you doing, Star? We're doing so good. I took off today to get some stuff done in the morning, and it was gonna cut into like a lot of my workday. So I just figured it was better to... Babies are crying. Rum. Oh, he's doing his homework. I want him to claim this bed. Let's see if the bed works. Relax after you're done with your homework, and then see if you can watch TV. We'll try that. Clayton. Ah, LOL. Here. Give a talking to. Oh, because she's strict. Homegirl is chilling. Look at her walk around. Grab coffee. Wait, I want her to read area. Sure, collect a microscopic sample, because you can, and spray for bugs. Let's see. Look at our little house. Look at our little family. Okay, we're gonna check on responsibility went up. Okay. What about him? What's his playtime captain? Ooh, stomp playfully on a splash pad. Great, great. And how old is he? He's not that much older than Justina. That's cool. Okay, he can relax on the bed. Let's see, let's see. And write in journal. And maybe make winter crafts. Why not? Let's see. Does the watch TV work? Watch TV works in this chair! Okay, it wasn't working when I tried before. Turn off the TV. Alright, that's good, that's good. Baby is crying. Yeah, she's coming over to see the baby. Why are we just... Oh, no, 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 no. We're gonna have to... The baby was just being fussy. Oh, don't yell at her! There's a diaper in here? Oh. Oh, no, no, no. Extra food. I can't be bothered with extra food. Guys, you guys, like, we're vegetarian in this house. I can't eat any pork. Oh, wait. Who's this? Marigold? Here, let's change outfit to Nebula. And then you, I want you to change this diaper. Can you change the diaper? Can you change the diaper? Or do I have to click this? Oh my god. There you go. Doing parent things. Oh, they're asleep. Let's make him outdoorsy. Was he downstairs? Or he's about to watch TV? Clean coop? And collect eggs. Why not? Let's make him... Yeah, it's not raining anymore. It's cooler out. Where is she going? Oh, did she go all the way upstairs? Yeah, because it's her room. Look at her. She's in her room playing in the dollhouse. This is so cute. This is exactly where she's supposed to be. She's checking on her baby girl. Like, hey. Join in playing with dolls. Stop. Like, you're growing up so fast. Stop it.
Lornum, Kanaya. Lornum beast a bay.
Look at them.
They're
They're so cute.
Dormadoo. Front.
Justina and her mama. So sweet. We're not gonna do cake for them. We're just gonna let them age up whenever they do. Yeah, go take care. He's gonna be the caretaker for today. The mom, I mean, Leilani, she needs to take care of her kids. Look at him, so confident collecting eggs. Hatchable egg. Can we incubate the egg? Put away. Let's see. Incubate, incup. Let's do that. Phone call. I got it. Oh, I didn't even know we were doing jobs.
Siwag! Oh, nay!
Why are we sad? Should I be more lenient? Oh, because they talked, they screamed, she screamed at her. What is Mauricio doing? They're awake, they're fine. What does he have to do for work? Oh, prepare food? Alright, let's cook for fam. Serve dinner. Let's do grilled cheese. And practice mixing drinks. Make a drink for Leilani. Look at that. Oh, Rome is learning. Okay. Love that, love that. Everyone's a little happier. Oh. Start Being Enthusiast Challenge. This is a formative moment. See the aspirations panel to learn more. Oh. Interesting. We're gonna have her expert repair just cause she can, but that's a good thing to know that children can have formative life experiences. We're gonna have her repair and then use the bathroom. No, use the bathroom then repair. Homeboy just.
Please. Wabara Jankibo.
Call to meal. It's so dark out here because I don't have a lot of lights. Oh, there you go, there you go. Look, everyone's coming to dinner. He also has to use the bathroom. Oh, there's not a lot of lights in here. Where's he sitting to eat? Oh, he's sitting outside because it's nice out. Look at him go. That's exactly what it's for. You know what? I'm not mad at that at all. Is she grabbing a serving? She's sad. Why? Oh, she's tired. She's like, stop talking to me. Look at her go. Yes. She's gonna go outside. She changed her clothes. Yeah, you can watch the kids while they eat. She's gonna go to. She just left the bathroom. It's Justina's birthday. It's all of their birthdays right now. Wait, we need to bake a cake. Here. Bake. No, it's cook, right? I wish they would change that. Cook. Sweets. Let's make a winter cake. I'm gonna fix his bladder just so he can get the cake done. She's chilling. She's working on getting that done. Feeling insecure from being jealous? Why are you insecure, girlie? I like how low light it is out here. Look at him just eating. She's finished with her food too. Let's throw this out. Now she finally gets a grilled cheese. It's 7 p.m. Everyone's about to age up, guys. Let's put this in the fridge. Did he put that egg away? Yes, he did. Let's put this in his room. This butterfly. Do we have a desk or something? Yeah, we do. What if we put the butterfly? The butterfly could also live out here, but maybe it can go here. Here, let's put it on his desk. That's fine. I like that.
Ha ha ha! La Michi! Whew! Vanarla.
Oh. Let's do this. What is she doing? Clean up? Add birthday candles.
Imuyib on a buzz.
And, more choices. Help block candles. Justina! In their nice house with Chonky! Let's go! Everyone gather around. Gather around. Oh! Oh, no, you didn't just eat the cake. Oh, hell no. Did you guys just see that? Don't piss me off, Raccoon. Like, Chonky, you doing a lot. Everyone, it's Justina's birthday. Look at her go. So sweet. She's growing up. She's a child, guys. Justina is a child. Kevin! Kevin, I love you. Hi, how are you? What are you doing? Oh my god, you're at work. How's work? Okay. Can I change this? No. Alright, pick an aspiration. What should be this girl's aspiration? I think we want to make her creative. Multi-skill, motor, mental, social. I think she's going to be creative. I'm working. Boring. Okay, vocals. Justina's a child. Like, we're all getting older. It's so exciting. We're almost through our next generation. And we have this whole house now. Like, we have such a huge space for our family to be this old, you know? I think we're going to go mental. We're going to make her a little smart. And then proper. That sounds so good. Proper and smart. Look at her. Okay, we're going to need to do a little... Call everyone to meal, and then we're gonna have to do a little makeover on our girl. Where is Mauricio? And then we'll have her. She's actually such a cutie with those sunglasses. Maybe we'll make her just look dolled up, you know what I mean? Oh, that's a toy chest. Here, I'll have her plan outfits for you. They're both sad. Uh-oh. Oh, he's upset. Chunky likes to scratch the furniture. Yeah, he's handling the kids. Go do that. She's already washing the dishes. Look at her. Look at her. We love a makeover. Yeah, we're gonna definitely have a little makeover situation. I want him to clean everything. I want him to be super responsible. And she's proper too, so they're both gonna be super responsible. Yeah, she's doing baby stuff. Maybe she can do We'll get his gardening up.
Dorm.
I want him to be outdoorsy and like I want him to be somebody outside. Like I think I want him to be like an outdoor athlete, something like that.
Hmm.
All right, let's do a little makeover on our girl Justina. And she's a mermaid. Can we can't change her mermaid self yet. But look at her. She's cute. We said we're going to go with blue vibe, but I like this hair on her. So I think we're going to keep the hair. And we're just going to make her quirky. Blues and whites, I think. Where are the glasses? She has these on. Yes, blues, whites, golds. Yes, Justina. This is cute. I like all these accessories on her too. Like I like her little vibe. Like I think we're gonna stick with this. Look at Sims doing good on the random. Okay, okay, I see the vision. Like she's just like think like Zoe Kravitz, but a mermaid in The Sims. You know what I mean? Like she's just giving boho. She's just like very like about the world. I think she's just gonna be like a conservative, a conservatist, conservatist, conservationist. Guys, I don't know what the fuck. Guys, don't quote me on that. Not a conservative. This is cute, but I think she likes dresses. She likes something a little flowy. I wish there was more mermaid stuff. Oh my god, look at her. So cute. So cute. I think she would wear shorts with this. Maybe. Oh. Oh, is that a full dress? Okay. Maybe. Hmm. I thought that was a shirt for some reason. You're saying a lot of words.
Hmm.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're so back though. What I meant was conservationist. Like somebody who really cares about the earth, like the world and the water. I mean, she is a mermaid, you know. I think we're gonna do shorts and a top.
Hmm.
Maybe something like a jacket or a button up, something with the cover. Maybe something like this.
Hmm.
Maybe something like this.
Hmm.
Oh, that's not bad. For the old me, need you for my, need you to remind me where I come from. Remind me of my. I don't want her to wear a long sleeve shirt. Down to earth. Call me on my bullshit. Big it even when it ain't. Oh, I like these shirts actually. These are cute shirts. And then we can send them to summer camp together. Guys, we can send them to summer camp and actually use the pack. Okay, I don't know what this is on her arm. I don't like it. Requires level 4 to unlock, but she already has it on. Like, what do you mean? We'll go with the blues. Yeah, blues, browns. Look at her. She is such a cutie. Yes, yes. Say it like that. She's so cute. And I can't wait to send them to summer camp so she can actually learn archery, you know what I mean? No support now. Your support now. Laid out with a big booty. Cause you gotta get moody. I know you'd rather be laid up. Not having no booty. Nobody. Buddy. Nobody's around ya. Kevin, how's work today? You said it was boring. At least you have off tomorrow, right? You still have off? Just how you are. And then she's gonna run to her long British twin, and they're gonna switch places. Oh my god! And then it's gonna be the Parent Trap. Kevin, your mind. You have the mind of a mastermind. This is cute. The shirt. You say it like that. And then we'll go for like a long skirt. Maybe to go formal. Look at her. She is adorable. Ooh, Lacey. Wait, this is cute. Oh my god, I can't believe she's all grown up. Work is alright. I'm just trying to get through it. The gym and then mom's BD dinner. Wait, happy birthday, Mama Kevin, Mama Slurt. Oh my gosh, what are you guys getting for dinner? Like, where are you guys going? This is athletics. I think she's fully gonna be like, oh, this is cute too. Oh my gosh, she's literally perfect. Oh my god, she's adorable. Can we get a different hair, maybe? Let's see. Just to switch up styles a little bit. How's this? This is cute too. This is cute too. Maybe for athletic. She's able to comb her hair back. That is not really... I don't think that's her style. She could do something like this too. No. Oh, this is also cute, the ponytail. Like her summer camp outfit. Like, this is a summer camp outfit. You know what I mean? Look at this wig. Her summer camp. This is cute too. This is a cute pull up because like it's just her hair pulled up. You know what I mean? Just a restaurant not too far. Ooh, are you? So, what kind of food are you guys getting? Like, did your mom get to choose like a place, or is it just like a place you've been? This is also cute. This is kind of crazy though. Like the blood cut at the bottom for this little girl. Oh, this is cute. Actually, wait, why is she adorable? That's her hairstyle. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. We'll change it up for some of them, some of the outfits. Honestly, let's just make her outfits then. I think everyone's wearing shorts. Like, you know why? Like, they live on the beach. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean she's wearing a full jacket at the beach? You know what I mean? With the shark sandals, like, so cute. I don't mind this jacket on my girl. They have everything, but I love salmon there. Ooh, she chose it. Salmon. Does it come with, like, rice or veggies? This outfit is so funny. I like this jacket so much, but I don't think it's it. I don't think it's the one. Like, she's so boho even in her little childhood. Like, what are we doing? Why is she dressed like a librarian? She is so funny. Look at her, dressed like a little librarian. Yeah, that's so funny to me. I think she just needs to wear shorts. Like, some shit like this. Like, she's a mermaid. Girl, get your shit together. Why am I dressing her like an old lady? She's a fucking mermaid. That's her big secret, guys. Stop. Stop. Asparagus, mashed potatoes. Ooh. Kevin, you're just listening to me ramble about this stupid game. We'll be here, Kevin. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you got your check-in today. Actually, she's like giving more this. Yes, very that, very that. Hot weather. I don't think you need a hat. The hat is cute though. Let's see if we can get this in blue. And I think this is an okay outfit. Yeah. I like a purple, honestly, a purple shoe. I think we're okay. Like, her outfits are very much all the same. I love her little everyday outfit. Like, I love that she's just gonna be in. This isn't bad. Let's just change these to, like, gray. And maybe blue shoes. We'll give them all more outfits soon enough. But I kind of just want to get some days in with them. Hi, Ash. Welcome in. Thank you for your check-in. Thank you for your check-in so much. How are you doing today? We're chilling. We have a new house. Ash, wait, let me give you a quick little tour. We're back in live mode. Justina just aged up. We just had her birthday. The twins are literally about to age up, like not too long, like literally by the end of the day. And I think we're just gonna elope on the beach where we live and get married and like make it official. Let's quickly show you the house. Oh my god. None of the lights are on, by the way. Turn on all lights. I know it's super late and dark, 9:30, but this is the house. This is our new beach home. I landscaped all of this to make it look more natural to the world. Like they actually live on a beach in the world, you know? I put all these rocks down. I put all this foliage down. Like I did all of this and I'm so happy with it. And this is the new beach house. Hot but good, making dinner now. Ooh, what are you making for dinner? And all the kids are getting older, friend. Okay, so we're back in this. I'm going to auto lights, all lights. And then I just want, yeah, outdoor lights are always going to be on. I don't mind that there aren't that many. I like that it's a little dim out here. I like that. It stops them from being out there, you know?
Oh, Sabafa.
And look at them. Look at them.
Oh, Schwaby.
They're just happy parents. And Homegirl's upstairs now. Like, this is her new... Like, she lives up here. Look at her. Look at her daughter. Look at Justina. She's so big. Justina, what are you up to? Our house is full. Let's practice speech. Why not? Oh, she has a toy in her pocket. No. Keep that. Alright, can you do this? Make friendship bracelet. And I want Homeboy up here. And I kind of want him to write in his journal. And then, does she have homework already? I know it's Saturday. Oh, we can do homework too. Look at them up here. This is their new gig. Okay, I love this. There's like a little Jack and Jill. Shrimp Alfredo. Adorable. Like, look at them. They're kids growing up together. Oh, wait, what did I have him do? Oh, he can't write in his journal. Can he put it away? Let's clean that up too. He's putting it in the bookcase. That's kind of funny. She's already playing dolls. He's on the internet for some reason. Oh, you have stuff you have to do. Don't you have to practice stuff? Wait, what do you have to do? Oh, he completed it. Alright, but let's get your skills up. Let's have you just cook a bunch of stuff. Like cook. Oh, he's just gonna go do baby stuff. Actually, I'm gonna let them rock. He's cleaning up. She's scared of the thunder. This is his bed. Rom's bed. And they live down here with babies. It's like storming outside, so she can't even do laundry, to be honest. It's broken again. I'm gonna have to work on it in the rain, by the way. Shrimp Alfredo sounds incredible. I'm having some more chicken Caesar like salad that I made. I have like 2 pieces of chicken left because of the salad, so I'm excited with that. Ash, how's your week so far? Are you working tonight or today's dinner and you get to chill? I want him to practice cooking. What does he have to do? Why is he sad? Need coffee? Why do you need coffee? Oh, are you just like a coffee addict? Is that one of your your lifestyle traits? Everyone's little helper. Kleptomaniac. He likes to steal. He likes to steal. Oh, what is he doing? Help with homework? Okay, period. Look at him doing his daddy duties. Yeah, go watch TV. Go do something interesting. Look at him go. He really took on this dad role. He's not a stepdad. He's the dad who stepped up. She has all these fears. Like, she's terrified. Wait, I'm getting rid of one of her fears. Why is she afraid of the dark? Yeah, let's get rid of that. And that. Like, I think she has all her dreams fulfilled. Like, you got me fucked up. She's not gonna die of being scared. She got electrocuted. You know what? We're not going back out there. Addicted to caffeine. Not a caffeine addiction. I'm sick. Oh my god, girl, do you need a break? Do you need anything? Like, what is good? What is the tea, honeybee? Let's do this. Use this. Let's take a bubble bath. She needs help. She just got shocked. No work today. I worked last night, so I've been running on games. Ooh, what have you been playing today, Ash? Love a salad. Oh, I'm excited for my salad. Don't even get me started. I'm gonna fry up some bacon. I can't help myself. I really wish that the rain would stop. I think what I'm gonna do is put them all to bed. Let's make them all a little tired. Let's see. Does he fit here with her? Oh, look, she's sleeping. She's already in bed, and he's up. No. What are you drawing? Yeah, like, get up out of your chair. I guess he can't see this mirror. This mirror is... There's no access to the mirror here. That's interesting to know. Look at him. I love that he can get up in this bed. Like, I like that this is their house. I'm so proud of how I, like, decorated it, too. She is chilling in the tub. Okay, he can get on that slide. Okay, okay. As long as she can get to bed, it should be okay. She got electrocuted, guys. Will the babies age up? Only time will tell. It was definitely their birthdays today. Look at all these pictures I took. See, look, it's their birthday. Who had a nightmare? Justina had a nightmare? She went to take a shower. She's like, maybe a bath will help. At 4 in the morning. Mauricio's, oh, the chick hatched on its own. Let's go. Okay, maybe that's the end of all the storms that are happening. Okay, I'm back from pissing and the mom's called. Ooh. Okay, so you're just going right to dinner after work, huh? I mean, I guess you live there, huh? I'm so happy with this family. I'm obsessed with them. I haven't decided who I want to be our heir. We have 4 kids. Soar back from a cheap bed, girl. Go back to fuck to sleep. That is the bed you got, girl. Actually, she should pee. Like, don't even try me. Me having beef with the daughter. Like, look, she's like walking. Oh, she's about to go through his room just to go piss. But that's kind of crazy. Never have to do that, by the way. Never have to do that. Look at her with her feet off the ground. That is so cute. I love the kids in this game. Like, I love this. They were supposed to age up. I wanted them to do it on their own, but I guess, like... Why can't she just walk in through here? Like, what is stopping her? Is this doorway really blocked? That's not the closest path? She had to walk around the whole thing to get to her bed. WizKid. At the moment, there are no active or suggested formative moments. Okay, cool. Play 3 games of chess and read with an adult for 2 hours. Okay, cool. She's really gonna be bussin'. Are you gonna age them up? Maybe he should just age them up. Justina has a loose tooth. She should expect to lose it soon. Wiggling the tooth and brushing her teeth can help speed up the process, or Justina can bite the bullet and pull the tooth out. Stop! This game is so cute. Okay. Why are we just dropping diapers anywhere? Like, why are we just dropping diapers anywhere? I need him to use the bathroom. And he can wake up early. And he needs a shower. Take a shower. They're aging up! Marigold aged up! There wasn't a party. There was a party for the child. We just did something quick at home. They made a cake. They did candles. So she aged up. And these infants, they gonna age up in 3 days anyway. So, like, they don't need that much. Cautious. These Sims appreciate the familiar but are slow to warm up to new experiences, locations, and Sims. Wait, that's cute. She's a little nervous. She's like the shy one of the two. That's so cute. Star's back. Mad as fuck you didn't have a party. I did kind of have a party, but it was also storming outside. We're about to have a wedding, guys. Like, literally, they're about to get married outside. Like, they're about to be so cute on their own private beach where they live, by the way. Okay, we're gonna do random traits. I think random traits are a lot of fun, so she'll be cautious. Marigold and Heriberto, let's see. Random trait. He's also cautious. Are we about to have 2 cautious babies? Like 2 scaredy cat babies? No, that was the second part of the message before. Oh, okay. The Sims get mad if you let them age up on their own. Oh, yeah. Like, now that she's a child, she will literally be upset if people don't wish her happy birthday. So I have to make sure. I guess we can make them both cautious, like literally. Okay, maybe this is too big for the toddler. Hold on. Let's get some cribs up in these hoe. Smile! Look at that smile! Heriberto smiled for the first time! I love when they're little like this. They both smiled, neither of them smiling. Guys, they're smiling, by the way. They're smiling, by the way. She's me. No, yeah, I'm also mad if you don't say happy birthday to me. Like, what? I just want them to be able to use these cribs, you know what I mean? Maybe that's the issue. Maybe this should go on this side, and this should go on this side. And then this can go here. And then we can move the door slightly. Maybe. Does that work? It doesn't work with this fish tank here. Where can we put this fish tank? Honestly, right here. Look at me doing renovations in real time. Actually, let's move the trees this way. We had a custom cabinet for the fish shop, for the... Oops. Actually, fuck it. That's too much paper now, and it's literally not even a different color. Like, what am I doing? And then we can put the trees here. Two grape trees, and honestly, while we're here, we're gonna make our garden worth it. Julio, we have a lot to do. We're okay. He's gonna go shower. I think we're fine. Everyone else is sleeping. She's up again. She went downstairs to wake up her mom. Hey, mom. I had a nightmare. Like, oh, it's okay. Like, that's fine. That's for encouragement. Like, it's okay.
Varik.
He never went to the bathroom. Like, can you go take a piss? Oh, he had to take a shit. Where did she go? Spray monster under the bed. Oh, whoops. You're not gonna do that. You have two kids just crying. Oh, they're both asleep on the floor. You know what? That's fine. They say her first wrote, scream incoherently. Why is she so scared?
Tanaka.
Honestly, you need to go for a run. Go for a jog. You need to get your stuff together. No, I don't want him to grab yogurt. I want you to cook dinner for the family. Serve breakfast. Eggs and toast. And then when you come back from dinner, I want you to... I don't see the chickens anywhere, by the way. Oh, I see the chick. Is it just the chick? It's just the one chick, by the way. Oh, they're both up. Period. Do some brushing of the teeth. Brush teeth. He's cooking breakfast. The other two are sleeping. I kind of want him to take care of the chick. Like, look at him. What should we name the rooster? Not her doing a driveway while he's shitting. Yeah, literally. Kevin, I'm gonna name you. I'm gonna name this chicken after you. Kevin. Kevin. Lowercase k. I did think of drive-by when you wrote that, not a driveway. So don't worry, you got it. Who is calling her? And it's just like The Sims. Because why is her dead father, her dead, deceased, dead father, why is he calling her? Her dead dad just called her and said, hey, happy birthday. Wow. Wow. Father goals, by the way. That is crazy. That is crazy. Like, thanks, Dad? Are you even real? She's on a jog. Yeah, she needs to relax. Like, not her running all the way to her friend's house. She's like, I need to gossip with you. I want him to get to know this chick and keep it alive. Feed Kevin and socialize. Play with Kevin. Socialize. Pet Kevin. Look at that. He's gonna get to know the chickens. She's gonna go get breakfast. She is so scared. Loose tooth from having a loose tooth. It's an X tooth. Let's get all the walls down because I can't see shit. Oh, baby is crying. Comfort and put Marigold to bed. And then the other one's awake or is asleep. How does he have to use the bathroom again? Let's cheat that because why are you're doing a lot. And he's talking to chickens. Look at him. And it's sunny and it's 10 a.m.
Norvell.
Aww, he's getting along with Kevin. You have a little friend. She took out the Ouija board, the Luigi board, literally. Start raising a caterpillar. Let's do an unknown one. Play dolls? Oh, he's gonna play. And then I want him to shower. He can shower down here. I'll have him do the laundry actually, now that the baby's asleep. Do laundry, wash and wash tub. I'm gonna have him do all the laundry. Is she trying to go to bed? How dare you put me down? But she's sleepy. Oh, she's gonna go relax on the... I'm gonna let her do her thing. So use the bathroom first, girl. Oh, he's already watching. Look at that. Look at him go. Why is she so scared? Why does she keep running like that? The other baby just fully asleep on the floor. Suit to sleep. I know it's itchy. What is he going to do? Talk to the monster under the bed? Okay. Look at her relaxing on this. Like, this is exactly what I wanted them to do. Can she swim? Oh, she can wade. How about you go here? Swim up here.
Yeesh.
He's addicted to caffeine. It's kind of crazy.
Nukem stay.
Actually, no, I don't want you to do any of that. I need you to do the laundry, and I need you to hang it the fuck up. And then I need you to put this away. Oh, look at her! Yeah, just swim around here. This will help you. Just relax when you're ready. Okay, she's fixing it now. He made her a vegetarian meal. There's a lot happening. There's so many moving pieces to this family already. Can you make wine out of tomatoes? Let's see. Nectar. Grape? Oh, I have grapes in my pocket. That's why. All I needed 3 grapes. Okay, hold on. Let's transfer her inventory to his. And now he has 7 grapes. Look at that. I want him to plant. I want her to plant these. What did he go upstairs to do? Watch TV and spray the monster. Okay. Oh, look at him. He's like, she's scared. She had a nightmare last night. Let me make sure I sprayed the monster.
Hop.
Look, she's relaxing outside. She's chilling. She is chilling. Everyone's having a good day. 1 p.m. No one's upset. This baby is angry because she can't fall asleep. He's scared for some reason of the monster being under the bed. Yes, but we already handled that. Here, let's crack our first
Go!
nectar.
Ha ha! Oofa!
Loves wake up time. Eddie Berto. Oh, did he wake up? Yeah, we got a little wake up.
Oh.
Oh. Comfort. Let's feed him. We also need all the all their little activity stuff. Hold on. Yeah, we need this stuff. Where's Chonky? She didn't sell everything, by the way. Sell all, please. When you have a chance. Did she finally go to bed? No, she is still upset. She's asleep. Where'd she take the baby? Where'd she take the baby? She took her in here.
Shyla!
She took him in here to feed him. Literally, she can't fall asleep. Oh, look at him go! Look at him go! Squish those grapes. Hell yeah.
A Luffy.
A Luffy. I love this little room for him. Oh! Not in that white shirt. Dude, she is panicked, bro. Nectar making skill, let's go! It's all bottled. What do we have to do for this? Achieve level 5? Okay, look at that. And now let's sell it. Resell. 4 servings. How do I sell it? Do I not have a container, like a storage rack? Hold on, let's get a storage rack. What is that? Activities? Kids activities. No, I want outdoor activities. Where is... Hold on, I have to do nectar. Nectar. Nectar! I need this. Oh, they're literally not close together. What's in here? What's in my wallet? Tomatoes, blackberries. Wait, blackberries might be helpful here. It's poor quality, by the way. Hold on. I just want to put it in here. Do I have to clean this? Purchase basic ingredients. Oh, I could have just done this the whole time. Potato. Let's just get him to craft nectar. 'Cause why not? Oh, he needs 3 of everything, right? Purchase. He has grapes downstairs that we're gonna start. There we go. Apple nectar. Let's just have him craft a bunch. Potato nectar, but I don't have enough skill. So let's just do that. Hates being held. Heriberto hates being held. Okay, cool.
JB.
Look, he's just gonna go up. Scream incoherently like, can we reset you? Because what is going on, girl? Why is she still spooked?
Oh, yay! Nukem stay. JB. Tribna. Wow.
Let's say hide and seek. Why not?
Leffy.
What is one girl doing? Oh, she's asleep out there. She is taking a nap. Her tooth. Just woke up with a loose tooth. Oh. She's like, I am not enjoying it. Play hide and seek? Yeah, let's them all play hide and seek together. Oh, but he hates being held. But craft nectar, yeah. What's going on? Oh, they're hiding. They're hiding. They're hiding. They're hiding. She's counting and they're hiding. Where are they going? She's just gonna hide in a random box that spawned. She just found a box. He hid in the dirt, in the grass. He hid in here. Now she's gonna go seek. Look for hiding Sims. Oh my god, she is just terrified still. Where are you guys? Look at her go. Wait, this song? Nope, they're not in here. Look for hiding Sims. Just in the bush, by the way. Are you in there? Hmm.
Wizardip. Syndicate.
Yay!
Sawada.
Oh, she fits there. She can run through that. That's good. I didn't know that. Look at her. Are you in here, Justina? In this random box?
Mozi. Oh.
Alright. That's it. They're getting married. We don't have high enough romance. I'm sick. So I guess we're not ready for that. What is happening? Yes, you like nectar making. Silly smooch. Why is she broken like that? I don't want her to be terrified anymore. Like, why is she running like that? Are you okay, buddy? Go to the bathroom, girl. Everything does not seem to be going Mauricio's way at all lately. Which has been bad news after bad news. People keep saying you never know until you try, but never talk about how it feels trying. Aw, he's upset.
Do what to read.
Oh,
Para.
so cute. Can she go to the bathroom? Like, what is going on? Why are
Shabana?
you broken?
Huh?
Why are all the Sims broken? They are just freaking out. Oh my god, irrational danger from being screamed at. Justina's scared. Why? Who knows? Last recess, no one wanted to play with me. I just climbed around on my own. If that happens again, what should I do? Ask other kids if you can join. Talk to the teachers. Let's go ask other kids. I'm taking these. What are these random ass fears that they have? Like, I don't understand what's wrong with her. Oh, the baby needs something. Change diaper. Oh, add bird seed. I have to add bird seed. 3 more hours of work? Ooh, you're so close. She runs like me, and I forgot about this album. Honestly, I could never forget. No, I don't know why she's running like that, by the way. Like, I'm not sure what's wrong with her. Look at all the fireflies. Look at our little home. Like, I'm so happy about all of it. What is she doing with the baby? Oh, changing diaper. Baby's just asleep on the floor. Faja, you need to wake up. Go use the bathroom. Homegirl's just out there relaxing on... Let's get her in bed. Let's get you in bed too. What are you doing? Wash dishes? Actually, do that first.
Yes.
She's still running like that. I want to live there. I do too. This beach house is so cute. I can't get over it. No, stop screaming at people. Like, stop screaming. Like, what is going on? You're ruining everything. Like, can we be serious? Why is she screaming? We might have to... Box.
Yupjorf. Amino. Oh. Conchunk. Hey, ho. Bipsa.
I'm gonna reset the game. Clean, nectar maker, and craft. Actually, no, we won't. It's 8. I want to...
Fazoo,
Look at
turn up.
her. I don't know what is going on with her. First blowout. Please be so serious. Oh, he's disgusting. Oh, he's disgusting. Oh, he's disgusting. Is she gonna handle it? Get back. Yeah, do that.
Woo-hoo.
I don't know why she's doing that. We're gonna reset. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna reset the game because I don't know why she's still scared after a day of no rain. This game is so stressful. I'm so tired, bro. Those Pokemon. Yes, come nap on all the Pokemon pillows. I was thinking about getting another Pokemon plush. Like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, wait, should I get that plush? Because it's like the last one. It was so cute. I'm so tired. Kevin, come play. Which one? It was Brigatito. It was a little weed cat. Little weed cat. The like people in front of us didn't want to buy him, and then so he was just at the register, and I was like, wait, should I get that one? All right, we're reloaded the game. And I almost got that one. Yeah, it was so cute and little. I was like, wait, maybe I should get it. Hold on, I'm reading messages from work since I had off today. Oh my god. So- They're so silly. Oh, Slowpoke, what's up? How you doing, Chulo? Get your check-in. Wait, are you done streaming already? Oh, you are done streaming. How's the rest of your stream? How's Pokemon? We're getting ready for a Nuzlocke on stream, actually. We'll be doing a Nuzlocke of Emerald on stream, so I'm excited for that. Okay. hopefully this helps with everything that we were experiencing. Rubbing a bit. Aw, sweet. Ooh, what are you getting to eat? Okay, look at that. Okay. No, don't put down. No. It's 9 p.m. 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 Everybody change the diaper. Everyone go to bed. It is. Don't get bath. Don't get bath. Don't get bath. Don't get bath. I want you to go to sleep. 9 p.m. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. No, where are you going? To view fish? You know what? That's okay with me. She's asleep in her bed. Honestly, no. It's bedtime. I'm gonna make him tired. So he feels like the need to sleep. He's tired, but I'm gonna make him hungry, and I'm gonna make him have, like, a lot of fun. I don't really care about cheating. I'm gonna make her tired. Mind concentrating? Oh, and yoga? Sure. Bruh. How no... She... I want you to change the diaper first. Change the diaper first. Change the diaper first. Change the diaper first. Come on. No, don't polish the profession. Pick up. Please! Now I'm hungry. You ever get to that point where you forget that to eat, that your head starts to hurt? Yeah. Is that where you are? Slowpoke, no, get your food. What are you gonna eat? Oh, no freaking clue? No, you need to get food. Hold. Change diaper. Bring him over. Bring him over. Go, go, go. Come on. There you go. Good little Sim. I love when they do their little, like, I love how realistic it is. And their little kids. Like, shut up. I'm trying to help you. Yeah, what are the options for food? Kiddo will be here in a few hours, so I don't want to grub too hard. Perhaps some fast food attention. Yeah, period. Get some Wendy's. You're in the West Coast, right? Get some In and Out. You know, get your little Chipotle. I guess Chipotle's not, like, Chipotle's a lot of food. No, I need you to bathe the baby. Give a bath. No. No. Hello? Like, give a bath and then put him to bed. Chipotle, yeah, get Chipotle and don't even eat it all. Like, eat what you want and then put it away. You know what I mean? 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 Oops. Yeah, it's a gamble with potential choro. True. There's always a gamble with choro. Always. Is she done bathing the kid? Yeah, finally done bathing the kid. Put the kid to bed. And I guess the other baby is just clearly not sleeping there. It only took 1,000,000 years for that all to happen. Look at his cleanse. Yeah. You're just clearing the system. You know what I mean? Oh, everyone's expected at work? That's fine with me. Now Marigold's awake, by the way. Use diaper. Will she go back to sleep? Will she go back to sleep? I don't want her angry. You know what? Fuck it. When one of them's awake, literally it doesn't fast forward fast enough. Ark! Hi, Ark. How are you doing, Ark? Look at our new house. Look at what I made. Look at this little beach house I made for our family. Everyone's asleep. We have our family's so big. Check infant. Homegirl. Oh, homegirl needs a bath. Yeah, go to the bathroom first. You get the bathroom to yourself. You woke up early. I guess you woke up at 3:45 in the morning. Am I still a chicken? Be honest. You were a chicken, and now you're in chicken heaven with the rest of them. Kevin's a chicken now. Or did y'all make me a nugget? No, we let you live your life. We just used you for eggs. Allie's back! Wait. Jesus, my employee need me. Well, I'm glad you're back, friend. Ark, thanks for getting your check-in. Slowpoke, did you get your check-in? No, you didn't. Slowpoke, get a check-in before you get your chodopotle. What is she doing? Grab cereal? Where are you? Girl. Didn't even shower, by the way. I guess she really wanted to eat. Is Chonky in here? Who's in here? Where's Chonky? Oh, he's just hanging out. Like, why didn't you use the bath? Why didn't you take a shower? I'm gonna make her hungry, and I'm gonna make her a little bit more sleepy. So she can go back to bed. I love Chonky just in the rooms upstairs. I'm gonna be eaten? No, we're using you for your eggs. Just scratching up the furniture. Yeah, go take a shower. I'm just watching to make sure she actually does it. Alright, 5 a.m. No, not have a quick... I don't know why they're going to the cooler for a quick meal. I want to take a shower. Uh-oh. See, they really pick up. But... I'm gonna make him work out, low-key. I'm gonna make him jog. Take a soothing shower. Well, he's already doing that. Dedication. Let's go. No, see, she gets up and does exactly what I'm asking him to do. Oh, it's because they're both up. They're both up and crying. They're both up and crying. They're both up and crying.
Moda.
Look at that. Oh. Yeah. What were you going to do with this baby? You're feeding them? Your stinky ass. Yeah, literally feeding them. They just need to be fed. That's what it is. They just need to eat. Not them both, yeah. Early riser, marigolds. Girl, you just got put down. Tito! Stuck at work but wanted to say hi. Missed your streams, Migo. Oh my god, I'm happy you're here. Tito, I was so happy to be in your stream yesterday. You were streaming for so long. I was there for a minute. Yeah, clean that up. Like, why do we think that that's okay? Share photos. And let's like make out or something. Like, can we just make out? Is that okay? Check out? Sure. Goose? What the hell is goose? Kiss. Let's serve. We have to make him better at cooking.
Charbonnet?
They're both up.
And bow.
He's grabbing cereal. She's just uncomfortable because of her tooth. Rao's art is crazy. I'm so stressed out. Clean. Hi, Star. Welcome back. Did you kill your baby daddy yet? No, this is official. This is it. This is endgame. Mauricio is end game. Okay, like he is who we're meant to be with. Now, kiss. Yeah, it's their time to make out. They did kiss. Where'd she go? Grill elote, by the way. No, I want you to join in cooking. Oh, mentor cooking, so the skill can go up because she's like really good at cooking. Aribeto started moving his little arms to reach for nearby objects. Let's go. Honorary sim guru. What is that? Play Sims for 100 hours? Well, I guess I have.
Grenza.
Yeah, mentor him.
Bueno. Zappen Gelfna. Yeah, Zabimo.
Oh my god.
Hey, Yano. Yano. Sakuma Domibo.
The baby can wait.
Steleka. Shanini. First
Play
Babelno.
dolls. I'm gonna let her do what she wants.
So. Britain no Sabu Spainy.
She's still mentoring.
Lavar Wuni Tonka.
He's done cooking, by the way. Yeah. No, I want you to eat first. He's gonna literally stop eating. The baby can wait. The baby will be okay. Lost her tooth. She can wait a while for a new tooth to appear or can elect to fix missing tooth. Oh, where is she? Oh, she went to school. He's on his way to school too. She lost her tooth. Let's go. Yeah, school started, friend. When does he have work? Is he gonna take care of the babies? No, work in 30 minutes. She's the last to leave, by the way. Hold hands, love is hold hands tonight. Who's gonna live? Baby, I. Like, he has to go to work, so there's no time. Yeah, give a bath. Where is he? Yeah, do that. No, I don't want you to do that. Change the diaper first! Why are you putting her down? So she can scream. Change the diaper. He's still eating. Like, she's insanely tired. She just got a shower, so she shouldn't be stinky. Sorry. I'm gonna cheat that. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cheat that. Not the game calling you out. Like, what? Look at Chunky running in the kitchen while you cook. Like, I know. Kind of, my headache is very on and off. Oh my god. Your Wi-Fi's still unstable. Literally, how are you? Yeah, how are you? I love you too, Jake. Jake, get your check-in. Get your check-in, Jake. Get your check-in. How are you doing, Jakey Poo? Chunky just looking for food. Yes, Jake! I'm good. I got my new work computer. Oh, LOL. Allie, don't you love when you get like new equipment and you're like trying to set it up and you get like a full day to like figure that out? Oh my god, so many more bills. $3,000 for our bills, by the way. Send a loan. Alright, everyone's doing good. Everyone's feeling good. Everyone's feeling good, guys. Or not aged yet. Not aged yet. How long till they get aged? Sent to daycare. Everyone's gone. And our house is so pretty. Oh, how do these clothes look? Clean and dry. We'll have the kids do that. You're prettier. No, you're pretty. Well, that's good. You got your work computer. Yeah, it's gonna have to. It's gonna suck, but it's gonna be fun. Like, what if they just ignore you? That's hilarious. Look at all my friends. How are you guys doing, guys? What was everyone's best part of the week so far? What is this? Sad from being awake too long. I think the kids come back from school soon. Ish. The egg was ready to hatch. Oh, we're gonna let him play with Kebbing. Oh, he's right here. Go home? Look at that. Let's do it. Let's hatch eggs. Here, I want her to come here too. Go here. Go be friends with the chicken. Look at our kids. Look at them. Like, hey. Oh, the egg's ready to hatch. Look at them.
Oh.
Oh, so sweet.
Oh. For sale.
A school project. 2 school projects, by the way.
Huh? Oh, Embo. Dosha.
Never. Not them both embarrassed.
Aksu. Aksu
Like, don't scare me again, you freak! Me and Micah, our love story house. Oh, you guys have a love story? Wait.
Shima.
Here, read to the cocoon.
Lava.
Oh, not her. He yelled at her. Like, don't fucking scare me, bitch. I don't know who the fuck you think you are. Wait, I want to see what happened. Not them fighting. It's just a prank, though. LOL, Justina thinks Romulo is so much fun to prank. His reaction is absolutely priceless. Happy to be in on the joke. That's so funny. Oh, he is plucked. He's like, don't scare me, okay? Me and my little chickens. Where's the other chicken? Oh, why is she green? Play in the sand? Sure, why not? Wait, I want you to do something with this chicken. Wait, what should we name this rooster? Who should we name the rooster? Our love story from 4 states away? LOL. Why does everyone love the pranks? I know. Honestly, Justina is so real for that because her mom is a prankster. So, like, her being a prankster is also so funny. I'm gonna make this Ark. Ark the chicken. No, don't hide from everyone. I want you to, discuss pre-methods. And I want you to pet Ark. And I want you to... That's it. And I want to... We can't clean. It's already clean. Why is she stinky? Arc 2.0. Oh, yeah, you're right. Arc 2.0. I didn't kill them. Oh, wait. I want to get it. I want to... Arc 2.0. I didn't kill the chicken. The chicken died. They have a lifespan. Okay? Oh, look. Give yourself a pep talk. Wait, he's insecure. She makes him insecure. Yeah, do that. Give yourself a pep talk. Why not? They both have projects to do. What is she up to? Oh, she's swimming. She's like, I'm a mermaid. Okay, I can't be bothered. School drawings, tooth fairy certificate. Oh, look at that. Here, let's have her do her project up here. Start working carefully. And then he has a school. Oh, I want you to clean that up. Oh, a paper airplane. Oh, that's cute. Put that in his room. School project. Start working carefully. Let them both do their projects. Oh, because Mauricio's back. Yep, Mauricio, take care of the babies. Immediately takes care of the babies. Yeah, get it together, get it together. Yeah, sure. Nina. Cocky Dicky Doo? Oh my god, why would I make that the name? Jake, how have you been? How's everything going? Are you back? Are you out of school again? Did you graduate? How's that going? How's work? How's life? Okay, yeah, take care of your kid. Are they hungry? Angry. How dare you hold me? Here, how about you do tummy time together? Oh no, you're putting him down? Okay, good. I want you to clean this up. Oh, yeah, they're working on their project, so you have to clean up. You didn't want to be carried. You're gonna get put down. I'm sorry. I am sorry about it. And then I want you to craft nectar. Oh my god, he did. Diaper change disaster. Ew. You dropped out, long story? No, Jake, what? Wait, I'll just text you. Loading into Rivals, but keep talking to me. I can after. Okay, well, we don't have to get into it, but I'm sorry that you had to drop out. Hopefully we can talk about it, and you can let me know how things are. How have you been liking Rivals? I saw that Captain America outfit. So are we gonna talk about it, or are we gonna talk about it?
Rizo Galady. Sintabilo.
He's making nectar. Okay, they're all working on stuff. Hey, a rhythmic game on the computer. Okay, cool.
Zuba.
Homework not started, by the way. Mad Scientist? Promoted Mad Scientist. An additional $28 an hour. Grand total $215. She received a bonus and new clothes. The next shift is at... It's Tuesday at 10. So tomorrow at 10. I want him to cook dinner. Don't review the fish. I want you to tend to the... Actually, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. And I want you to take care of the plants. Oh, mentoring. Oh, interesting. Sell off. Water all. And now I want you to... Wait. No, don't grab a serving. I want you to serve dinner. So you can get better at it. Bake meat casserole. Do that. Do it to me. She's in the shower. She gets to relax. They're still working. She's hungry. What else does she need to do? She's not having fun. So we'll have her play with dolls for a little bit before she does her other homework. He's serving dinner. Everyone should be taken care of. So we'll just let them go.
Ooh, sporgly gobana. Tim Koenig. Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Eureka! Okay, we had a... He reached level 4. Okay. Call everyone to meal.
Narabu, Upa.
Great. The baby just out of the crib. That crib's broken, maybe? I've been a reason. Oh, they almost done with the project, or what? Like, when will they be finished? Your life, you get out of time. Need to swipe? Being a kleptomaniac is hard? That's hilarious. Who's this? Oh, our gay friend. Nigel. Baby just crying on the floor. Baby just crying on the floor, by the way. No, I don't want you to sleep. I need you to figure out what... Tummy time together, do that.
Zuba.
Oh, look at their needs. Their needs are horrible. It'd take him a long time to get these projects done. Oh, tummy time.
Spurgle?
Look at that.
Oh.
You can watch a movie or something.
Oh.
Lift head milestone, let's go! Oh, rebate day, she has to buy something. Actually, I can just like buy something big. Pick that baby up! No, they're doing tummy time! The baby likes the floor, okay? Maybe I can buy like a video game console or something. You look a mess. Good. Where are the games? Are they? Oh, see, that was moved. You a loose screw. There's like a vintage gaming one that I'm trying to find. Wake up. I guess it's not available here. I don't want them to have these like... What's this? Who's up party games? Oh, these are speakers. Yeah, see on it? Where's the other game console? Let's see. Game console. There you go. Oh, here you go. Nostalgic entertainment system. See, that's what I was looking for. Hmm. Actually, oh, I don't have my sheets on. That's why I couldn't just place them wherever. Oh, that's not kid friendly. Where's the? Oh, object can't be deleted. What do you mean? What do you mean I can't delete it? Stop me now. You two times, things my whole way done. Do things my own way, darling. We actually didn't buy anything, which is kind of crazy. After I said, "Oh, we bought one game." Get no peace of mind. Look outside my window, I can't get no peace of mind. Oh, chip and glitter, I got my oh, oh. And let's get some chairs. There you go. Oh, he's making a volcano and castle diorama, by the way. Damn, it took them so long to get these done. They didn't get any homework done, by the way. Yeah, look at them getting. Look at them. You have to feed your baby. Come on, feed your baby. Oh, stop. Grant me no peace. Get to no peace. Oh. Here, we can even change their outfits up a little. Oh, let's go. She finished her. She finished her project. Oh, pick that baby up. Ooh, I'm ready to eat dinner, guys. We're gonna give them all more outfits, and then I think we're gonna end there. Would that be crazy? Let's fix their outfits up, and then I think we're gonna end. Um, let's give them all like super makeovers. Okay, he's a mixologist, so I like this hair on him. We're just gonna make him friendly. We're gonna make him. We're gonna do blue and green on him. We're gonna do everyone with their own color scheme. Marigold is gonna get orange. I think we're gonna move her toward the orange. Maybe burnt orange, red, and then Heriberto will keep blue as well, or maybe we can go for yellow and have them be yellow and orange. We'll see. I love how he just has this chain. Yeah, because these are gonna be his everyday wear. I like this. We're gonna go with blues. Here we can color. Oh, does he already have likes and dislikes? Colors. Black. He likes black. He likes blue. We're making him like blue now.
Oh, Quarfool. Yips.
Blue. Black. Gray. We'll do stuff like that. Like, he wouldn't be just shirtless, right? I'm not crazy. Oh, this is cute. And then change the pants. And we'll take the socks off. On our own someday. Nothing wrong, nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the light. Oh, I like these denim jeans on him. These shorts. Your plane right to the sky. Just you and I, love. Look at this outfit. Okay, style. He's got style. Lost in the end of it all. Miami. Los Angeles, India, Lost on a planet. Hey, Star. We're just giving them some makeovers. I actually don't mind those jeans. Even these I like too. I like the cuff. He sure does love these shoes. The coach shoes. YOLO, let's wear the coach shoes. Why not? I don't really care for the formal wear. Athletic wear is fine. I like having multiple everyday outfits because that's what they wear all the time. You know what I mean? All right, cool. Cool. Sounds good to me. All right, let's fix him up. He is boring. Boring. Should we have him with long hair? Like, his hairstyle kind of matches his dad's hair. Him and his dad could have the same hair. I actually don't mind their hair being similar, you know? But we're gonna make him sort of green. Green with the blue. I kind of like this. Like to go to prep school. There you go. I like that. They're fine. They're fine. Honestly, let's give him a little hair wrap. Oh, this is nice hair too. Yeah, maybe his hair's not that long yet. This is fine. I'm cool with all that. Okay, cool. Heriberto, we're gonna go with yellow. Yellow. Or actually, what's the air? Hold on, let's see. What is it? What is it called? What is it called? What is it called? Not so berry. Challenge. Generation 2 Rose. As an adult, you had a hard time committing to relationships as you're so focused on your career. If we had a workaholic trait in Sims, you would have it. You absolutely no parental instincts. Politician, serial romantic, hot-headed snob, romantic. Rose. Interesting. So, would it be interesting if Marigold was our next heir? For red? Let's do that then. Red and yellow. And then I don't want shoes on the baby. I like the babies with no shoes. It's so cute. And honestly, a little diaper with the shirt. That's fine. And then sleepwear, let's just do a onesie. Oh, whoops. Oh, look at that. Look at how cute. A little donkey. I like that. No socks. All right. I'm just going to give him a bunch of yellow clothes. I think I want to give green pants. Because mom's green. Okay, I'm fine with that. And then Marigold. I think it's going to be kind of funny. Marigold's our heir and it has to be Rose. But look, her bow is pink. That is so cute. So let's go with red. She's gonna be a politician that's a romantic and hot-headed. That's so funny. She's already been so angry. Hot-headed fire truck. That's so funny. Do it. Do it. I think that's pink is fine for Rose, low key. Easy. And we already. Yeah, I think everyone else is fine. All right. Well, I think that's it for today. This was a lot of fun. We did a lot today. People had birthdays. We're gonna have to work on their relationship a bit, but I'm so excited about how far we've come in this family in this generation. Like we figured out our heir, Marigold the Rose heir, kind of funny. We have twins. We have 4 kids total. We have lifelong partner in the works. We're almost done with our career and aspiration. She needs to go and clog toilets, so I think that's gonna be next on our little list. Exactly. Yeah, I'm overright. We're so far along. I want to go camping with this family. I want us to have so many moments together. There's so many kids, so it's gonna be a little hard, but the lifespan is gonna go by so quickly. It's gonna feel like we had no time with them at all. Soon enough, Leilani will be dead. Okay? Soon enough. Like I said in Discord, we're gonna be streaming 4 times this weekend. We're streamed today. It's great. I'm so happy to start off the weekend with you guys and do Sims. Tomorrow we'll be returning to the quarry, trying to get some more trophies on the quarry. Depending on how late things run, maybe we can get some DVD games like after the quarry, or start with DVD and end with the quarry. I think that'd be fun. I'm gonna get stream prepared for the Nuzlocke on Sunday. I think the Nuzlocke will be a lot of fun, and then on Saturday, we'll be playing DVD like we normally do on Saturdays. I'm excited for the Nuzlocke. I'm excited to like play more Pokemon on stream too with you guys. Um, I think the Nuzlocke will be a lot of fun. We'll be naming some of our like Pokemon partners. After folks on stream, I'm gonna try to see if I can find an Emerald mod that's fun to play, with like updated typing and some Pokemon. I haven't decided if I wanted to do a randomizer or not, but we'll see what I can find online. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I always really love stream, and like stream has just been such a great time for me. So I really appreciate you all for being here. Okay, that works with you, Ali. I'm glad. I hope we can spend so much more time together this weekend. Like I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I hope that yeah, I hope that all the games we play this weekend will be a lot of fun. I'm excited for everything. I'm excited for everything that's coming. Like I'm excited for life. I'm excited for our Sims gameplay. I'm excited to just do more with you guys and hang out and just have time for y'all. Yeah, I will be here. I'm so excited. You guys make streams so much fun and like so worth it. I love knowing that like stream is a place we can all hang out. Um it's so weird thinking of you guys as like my little friends on my computer. Who are we gonna raid out to? I was waiting for my friend Tim to start streaming, but he hasn't gone live yet. He's doing like a surprise birthday stream. Yeah, he's not live yet. Let's see if he made any announcements on Discord or something. Give me 30 minutes, just got home. Oh, he's gonna start late. Well, I guess we're not raiding to him. We will raid to Petrie. Why not? Let's raid to Petrie. Let's go hang out with Petrie for a little bit. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, he's not live, so we're not gonna raid to him. Um, actually, we'll just give him a shout out. Um, Go follow Wong. He's a Fortnite player. He was my streamer. I mean, he is my streamer. He's sort of what brought me to Twitch, and yeah, if you guys want to follow some Fortnite content, super wholesome, family friendly. We love Tim up in these streets. But we're gonna raid Petrie. I did it. You did it. You did it, Ali. You did it. We're gonna raid Petrie. Everyone, get those raid commands copied, and ready to be pasted. Okay. Tomorrow, the quarry part 2. We gonna kill these hoes. All right. Who's excited? We have such a fun weekend planned. I'm so excited, so excited to spend so much more time with you guys. And even if you're active in chat, even if you're just lurking, even if you just come in for your check-ins, like I appreciate all the time and company you spend with me. I appreciate you guys just giving me your time, your afternoons and your evenings. Like it means the world to me that you guys choose to spend it with me. Ash, even on your days off, you want to hang out with me, and it means so much to me. So let's go hang out with Petrie. Show them some love while they play Dead by Daylight, and yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Okay. They'll be doing work in my apartment, so stream might get pushed, but all updates will be in the Discord. And I'll talk to you all later. I love you all. Bye.